So I know you're probably expecting the results of the 2024 Advent calendar, but holidays, family time, and all those things kind of have delayed things. So instead, I thought I would put out a tasting that we did a few months back in 2024. So one of the Whiskey Club members ended up uh, connecting with Hard Truth. They're based out of, I think, Nashville, Indiana. They put out a handful of different whiskeys, but they seem to be mostly known for their ryes. They have a lot of different ryes. So we did a tasting at Paul's garage, and there's also watching a lot of football, and you'll see a lot of different people rooting for different teams throughout this whole video. But the only thing I really wanted to point out is I was trying a new setup with a different camera, a different audio setup. Uh, it worked. I tried to clean it up as best I can. I'm not an expert in sound quality, uh, and I really, honestly, just should have tested it before we did this tasting. But I think I cleaned it up enough for you to understand where we're coming from, what we're tasting. So, thank you to Paul for hosting, and thank you to Eddie from Hard Truth for coming out and doing this tasting with us. We really enjoyed it and very much appreciated it. So, I'll turn it over to Eddie and let him walk through a little bit of the history of Hard Truth whiskey. And I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.
All right, guys. So thank you all for coming out today. I'm Eddie with Hard Truth. So my family is one of the three founders of Hard Truth. We actually started out as a brewery over 10 years ago now. We're brewing one keg of beer at a time out of a little restaurant, 30-seat restaurant. And we would close down 3 days a week, and we would brew beer, and then we'd open up and expanded from there. We bought a big building next door, and we opened a big pizza place, and it was more like 100, 150 seats. And we were brewing out of there, a couple kegs at a time. And then in 2015, we decided we were going to start distilling. And really small operation. We were just doing some vodka, kind of testing it out a little bit, until this guy, Brian Smith, came in. And so he came in and he was like, I'm tired of real estate. I want to distill. And so he came in and he's like, I'll wash kegs, I'll do whatever, but I'm invested. And so he washed kegs for us for a little while, one at a time, and that's how I got to know him. That's what I was doing back in high school. And so he was up in our little distillery above our pizza place, and it started getting rolling. Everything was going really well with the clear spirit. So it was perfect timing. A big piece of property came available right outside of Brown County, just right out of downtown, maybe a mile, if that. And so it's 300 acres, and we went and we bought that, and big plans for it. So we built a massive distillery on there, 300-seat restaurant, and from there we built a visitor center. We're building a third rack house now. We've got a huge concert venue where we're doing, fit a couple thousand people. It's beautiful. You see it across the balcony of the restaurant. We do ATV tours, TV tours. So it's really beautiful. Big property. We'll have about 400, 500,000 visitors this year. October's obviously busy season. So it's right in Indiana where the glacier stops. So beautiful rolling hills. We've got a nice state park there, which is really exalted. But about the bourbon and ryes, so we started out and we wanted to do something a little different. And Brian was really good for the wilderness trail guys. And so we learned about the sweet mash process, and we decided we were going to be fully vested in that. And we started out with our sweet mash rye. We released that about 2 years ago now. It's really been killing it. We got a double platinum here from Fred Minnick this last year. Did really well in San Francisco this year with platinum. So really been killing it on this one. And then our second release was our High Road Rye. We wanted to do something totally different. Nashville, and that was 55 rye, 33 corn. So it's a little lighter, a little then we've done some fun releases since then. We did like a chocolate malt, a caramel malt. Those are really cool. I've got that for us to try later. What you're doing there is actually toasting those grains, and it's actually burning the sugar to the chocolate malt, and it gives you an all-natural chocolate flavor. It's really cool, really unique. You're going to have in the next 2 weeks, it'll hit the market in Nashville. It is called Master Distillers Reserve Blend. It's going to be the chocolate malt, which is giving 20% of it, the caramel malt, which is 50% of it, and the malted rye, which is 30% of it. It's a really cool mix of all of them that we did last year with that. We've also done some fun barrel aged ones. I've got the cognac here for us to try later too. That one coming out with another blend of them. It's finished in a bunch of different barrels, so it'll be all in 8-month cognac barrel, soft Trinity barrel, a sherry, and a grain. And then it's blended and rested on toasted French oak. It's a lot. And this next one that we're going to have coming out, it's in our last LCM of the year. It's going to be a double oak sweet shot. All kinds of cool stuff. And then obviously our bourbon line just came out too. So we've got the bourbon, we've got the weeded bourbon, and the 4 grain. So far, all the reviews that are coming in, everyone loves the 4 grain. It's been a crowd favorite. I personally am a weeded guy. Yeah, so thanks for coming up, guys.
Thank
You
you.
got tons of fun stuff to try today. Cheers. Yeah.
Got to do a whole tasting. We got 9 different bottles.
Well, yeah, it's
Something along those lines. Thoughts?
Never had anything from Hard Truth. Honestly, never heard of them until Paul set this up. And to show up to the tasting and see that many bottles, I actually thought it was duplicates.
Okay.
But I was like, no. And when I was talking to Eddie, he's like, no, these are all different
individual
bottles.
shit,
Like,
yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
For a distillery you've never even heard of before, to see that many different whiskeys was pretty impressive. I enjoy ryes. It's not my favorite, but I actually thought the ryes were. I've gone back. I've had every rye and I've gone back twice to it. I will definitely purchase a few bottles.
Good
What do you
stuff.
think?
I mean, great distillery, great stuff.
9 different bottles.
I gotta say,
Which one's your favorite?
my favorite? We're not gonna count the single barrel, like the
The special
bombs.
release. Yeah.
The 4 grain, bottle and bond, amazing, good stuff. But I can't believe that rye. That 2-year
2.5
rye,
year old.
delicious. Candy notes, red fruits, great stuff. I've been sleeping on this distillery. I don't think you should. Hard Truth is doing this good stuff.
Really amazing, especially on the rye side.
I can't believe. Yeah,
Their rye's something different.
we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to spend more money.
Yeah.
No, good stuff. It's a good event. Good times.
We just had 9-ish whiskeys. Thoughts?
Great story, great product, quality ingredients. They really they really push the limits on the taste, which I love because they're doing some different things that other people aren't doing.
Yep.
And I think there's absolutely something for everybody out there. And they're priced in a great,
Their price range for a relatively new distillery.
Right.
To be in the 40, most of them in the 40 to 60 range. That's
Right.
awesome.
I mean, and you
Very
get what you pay
approachable.
for. And I absolutely agree. It's worth a try. Their their sweet mash rye is fantastic, even if you're not a big rye fan. Their chocolate malt, just a delightful. Listen, even if you don't like regular whiskey, it's a great deviation from your normal mash bill.
Yeah.
Just a great story, awesome family. Highly recommend.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Well,
having me.
fun.
I appreciate it.